Alexa Bliss fans, WWE may have just dropped the ball with one of its brightest stars. After a 2-year hiatus, Alexa Bliss made her highly anticipated return to the WWE Universe in early 2025. Her comeback was one that many fans had been waiting for, yet somehow it felt like a missed opportunity. After all the hype, all the anticipation, and all the rumors swirling around her return, it seemed like WWE didn't quite capitalize on her star power. Bliss made her big return at the 2025 Royal Rumble, entering at the 21st spot in the women's match. The crowd erupted when her music hit, as this was a moment fans had long hoped for. However, her time in the ring was short-lived. Despite her best efforts, she was eliminated by Liv Morgan after just 11 minutes. It was a lackluster return, one that felt anticlimactic after such a long break from the action. But perhaps more frustrating than her quick elimination was the lack of follow-up and attention to her story post-Rumble. To understand why Alexa Bliss's return was so underwhelming, we need to take a step back and look at what kept her away from the ring in the first place. Bliss had been absent from WWE since early 2023. At the time, it was revealed that her hiatus was due to personal reasons, as well as her giving birth to her first child. For many fans, her absence felt like it would be a temporary one. But as the months went by and rumors began swirling, it became clear that her return wouldn't be as straightforward as expected. Throughout 2024, whispers of her potential return kept popping up. Fans held on to hope, eagerly awaiting confirmation that their favorite superstar would return to the ring. But contract negotiations reportedly dragged on, and it wasn't until just hours before the Royal Rumble event that fans learned Alexa Bliss had signed a deal with WWE. Mike Johnson from Pete Winsider broke the news, confirming that Bliss was flying into town for the event and that she would be backstage at the Royal Rumble. It wasn't until her music hit during the match that fans knew she had indeed returned. However, this excitement was short-lived. Bliss didn't make a huge impact during the Rumble match, and fans quickly started questioning whether WWE had any plans for her beyond a quick cameo. Following her elimination, Bliss moved to SmackDown. Initially, there was an assumption that she would be on Monday Night Raw, especially since the Wyatt Six faction, which had been teased for months, was set to move to Raw. But WWE surprised everyone by placing Bliss on SmackDown, a decision that raised even more questions about the direction they planned for her. On February 7th, she secured a win over Candice LeRae in a qualifying match for the Women's Elimination Chamber match. This victory earned her a spot in the match and positioned her as a strong contender for the Women's World title at WrestleMania 41. However, despite the excitement surrounding her win, things quickly slowed down. Bliss had a strong opportunity to build momentum heading into WrestleMania season, but instead, WWE failed to provide her with the storylines or rivalries necessary to make a lasting impact. In fact, by the time the Elimination Chamber came and went, Bliss had barely been involved in any significant angles or matches. With top stars like Bianca Belair and Bayley being moved to Raw, SmackDown's women's division could have benefited greatly from Bliss's presence. But instead, she was left with little to do. Since her victory over LeRae, Bliss hasn't been seen on WWE television. She hasn't competed in any matches or been part of any meaningful storylines. And to make matters worse, rumors started circulating that WWE might not even have a clear direction for her future. Now it's easy to see why WWE fans, particularly Alexa Bliss's loyal supporters, are concerned. It feels as though WWE has squandered a golden opportunity to build a strong storyline around one of its most talented performers. Even though Bliss made a return during one of the most high-profile events of the year, WWE has failed to give her the creative support she needs to make a significant impact. She hasn't been part of any major storylines or even been featured prominently in matches. For someone with the star power that Alexa Bliss has, this lack of involvement is a huge disappointment. But it's not just about the lack of matches. Fans are starting to worry that WWE doesn't know what to do with Bliss in the long term. There's been a lot of speculation about her involvement with the Wyatt Six faction. For months, fans believed that Alexa would play a key role in the faction's debut, possibly aligning herself with Bray Wyatt and the others. But those plans seem to have fallen apart as WWE shifted the faction's focus away from Bliss and placed them on SmackDown instead. While there is still some talk about Bliss potentially joining the Wyatt Six faction, it's unclear whether WWE has any concrete plans for her involvement. It's clear that the Wyatt Six faction has struggled to gain traction. Outside of Bray Wyatt, there hasn't been much star power within the group, and fans are starting to wonder if it's too late to make the faction relevant. Nikki Cross, who is one of the group's members, has had a rocky journey since aligning with the faction. While she certainly has talent, she hasn't been able to maintain the momentum that she once had, and this has left fans questioning the future of the Wyatt Six. The speculation is that WWE might attempt to recruit Alexa Bliss into the group, but this feels more like an afterthought than a solid plan. It seems like WWE is trying to keep Bliss involved in something, anything, that will give her TV time. The idea that she might join the Wyatt Six feels forced, and it's unclear whether it will help or hurt her career. If she does join the faction, it could either elevate her or lead her down a path of irrelevance. She's far too talented to be wasted in a group that has struggled to gain real attention from the fans. For Alexa Bliss's career to truly move forward, WWE needs to make some major changes in how they book her. She's proven time and time again that she can be a top star in WWE with her unique character work and undeniable charisma. But if WWE continues to keep her on the sidelines, not giving her the spotlight she deserves, then her star power will begin to fade. It's hard to deny that Bliss has championship material written all over her. She's capable of being a top contender for the Women's World title, but only if WWE gives her the proper booking and storylines to make it happen. One possible route WWE could take is to put Bliss in a tag team, particularly with Nikki Cross. While some fans might not be thrilled about the idea of Bliss being in a tag team, it could work out well for her. The women's tag team division could use some fresh teams, and Bliss and Cross teaming up could bring some new life to that division. However, it's crucial that WWE doesn't bury her in the tag team scene. She should still be positioned as a major star, capable of going after the women's tag team titles while keeping her status as a former singles champion intact. The big question remains, what is WWE doing with Alexa Bliss in the long term? If WWE doesn't start pushing her more effectively, they risk losing her to other companies or worse, seeing her become just another forgotten talent on the roster. Fans know that Bliss has the potential to be a major draw, and they want to see her back in the spotlight where she belongs. But with the lack of creative direction and the missed opportunities since her return, it's easy to be concerned about her future in WWE. For WWE, the clock is ticking. They need to find a way to bring Alexa Bliss back into the fold in a meaningful way. Whether it's through a rivalry with a top star, a major championship storyline, or even a tag team run, something needs to change. It's clear that Alexa Bliss has star power and the ability to connect with the audience, but WWE needs to give her the opportunities to show it. Otherwise, they may end up letting one of their top talents slip through their fingers. In the end, if you're a WWE fan or an Alexa Bliss fan, it's hard not to feel a little concerned. WWE has a history of mismanaging talented stars, and it seems like Alexa Bliss may be the next victim of that trend. Her return to the company should have been a major event, but it's quickly turned into a story of missed chances. With WrestleMania on the horizon, one can only hope that WWE recognizes the potential of Alexa Bliss and puts her on a path to success before it's too late.